Hi, welcome to today's Talk of the Town. I'm Sandy Benson. Back this month to help us discover the 3 shockingly easy components of online marketing, a WHHI-TV news partner and our very own marketing guru, John Ontal of nichemarketmedia.net. John, always a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
So, wow, let's get right to it. You're saying there's only really 3 components of online marketing.
That's it. There's 3 components. And I'll tell you what they are. First of all, you website or your web presence.
Right.
Your social media and following that you need to be collecting through emails. And then the third component is the traffic to your website.
Well, I think a lot of people are familiar with website, and I think a lot of people are becoming more familiar with social media and the fact that they really have to be present on social media.
Yes.
And maybe not so much how to do it, but that they have to do it.
Right.
And then traffic. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And and it's changed. It seems like a lot of businesses, as soon as they grasp one concept, it's like, oh,
isn't that the truth?
What do we? Oh my gosh! Well,
what's
wait
next?
a minute. What's next? A perfect example. Being like number one. A lot of businesses, including me, who are obsessed with being number one in Google search.
Sure.
But then everybody, if they have cookies enabled on their phone or their computer, everybody gets a little bit different number one.
Yeah.
And we've got local and then ads and the whole deal. And so it's like, really, I'm telling people, including myself, don't be so worried about number one.
So don't be so hyper about that.
Don't be so hyper, but when they're there, okay, the retargeting, that's one of the biggest things you can do right now.
Okay.
And I know you're familiar with that. When they go to your website and then they're on Facebook, they can see an ad.
Right.
So that's another thing you have to do. And when they come to your website, you got to give them a good experience. I mean, it used to be people would just do a little blog post, but now it's longer blog posts to keep people engaged. So there's a couple different ways there. There's all the advertising you can do through social media as well to get people to come. So SEO, which is search engine optimization, is one, but we need to do other things for traffic to get them to your site.
Okay, all right. So can you have one without the other? I don't think so, but I mean, it seems like there's no way.
No, and that's a tough thing for businesses because they're like, okay, we're going to focus just on this.
Right.
But still today, right now, the biggest thing is the email lists. If you've got, that's the most intimate you can get with somebody. They open it when you can send out an email newsletter. That is still the best.
Right.
And so you have to do all of it.
Yeah.
Your social media, you never know. I mean, there have been times where I have went on vacation to places just where I've seen it in somebody else's feed.
Right.
It looked nice.
Right.
And the same thing with products. So, oh wow, I got this today, and then you go shopping. So you have to do it all. You can't do one without the other.
So what is the first thing a business should focus on now, knowing they need all 3 components?
Yeah, and that's when you've got to have somebody professional take a look at what you have.
Right.
Because if it's not one size fits all, because somebody may have a great looking website, but if they don't know where their traffic is coming from,
they don't know what to do with it.
They don't know what to do with it, or like, hey, we're coming here, but gosh, people are not staying on my website long. They're not picking up the phone.
Right.
So you got to look at, it's probably about 100 things really that you could look at to diagnose and see if they've got it right. So it depends on what they're doing. So that's why they've got to talk to somebody professional to see where they're at.
Right. And do you agree that the first thing they really need to have is a strong website?
Yeah, I mean, that goes without saying for sure. And so, and if a website, and once again, if a business has that and then they're not getting what they want, then we need to look at some of the other areas.
Right, absolutely. So what's the next step for businesses?
Call me.
Of course.
No, in all seriousness, they need to look at their website,
Right.
and they need to be able to be collecting emails. They need to be high in the search engines, but they really need to look at their Google Analytics. They need to look at it, and if they don't have that set up, they need to set that up, because then they can see what queries or what words people are getting to their website and how they're getting there.
Right. Keywords are very important as well.
Absolutely.
And just from personal experience and working with you over many years, I have found that it's more than one person doing this. I mean, you really need a professional that can kind of guide you.
Absolutely.
So, John, as always, it's great information. Thank you for joining us. Look forward to next month.
Thank you.
And we will be right back with Talk of the Town.